Listen to me, you were not born to be fragile. You were not placed in this life to bow to fear, to live chained to excuses, or to surrender to the voices that tell you it's too late. Weakness is not some harmless shadow in the corner. It's a predator. It waits, it whispers, it feeds on your hesitation, your doubt, your comfort, and if you let it, it will grow until it devours every dream you ever had. You know the voice I'm talking about, the one that tells you to take the easy way out. The one that says, you can do it tomorrow. The one that tries to convince you that mediocrity is safer than greatness. That voice, it's a liar, and every second you entertain it, you give it power. Weakness will not politely leave you alone. It will not show mercy. So why are you showing mercy to it? This is not about perfection. It's about war, the war within you, the fight between who you are and who you could be. You cannot negotiate with weakness. You cannot coexist with it. It must be hunted, exposed, destroyed, because the moment you decide to tolerate it, you've already lost ground. I don't care how far you've fallen. I don't care how many mistakes you've made. Your greatest comeback begins the second you stop making excuses and start making war. You have to become the kind of person who looks weakness in the eye and says, not today, not ever again. Your discipline is your weapon. Your persistence is your shield, and every act of courage is a strike against the enemy inside. So stand up, tighten your grip, destroy the weakness before it destroys you. And when the dust settles, you will not just survive. You will rise. Weakness is not harmless. It is an active threat that grows if left unchecked. It waits in the quiet moments when you think no one is watching. It seeps into your choices, disguising itself as comfort, as rest, as the voice that says, you've done enough for today. It pretends to be your friend, but it's the very thing that's holding you back. Weakness feeds on your hesitation. It grows stronger every time you avoid the hard thing you know you should do, every time you delay action, every time you take the easy way out. It grows when you say, I'll start tomorrow. It grows when you choose distraction over discipline. It grows when you let fear dictate your steps. You have to understand something. Weakness is not passive. It doesn't just sit there, it spreads. It builds chains around your potential until you no longer recognize the person you were meant to be. It will take your dreams, it will take your drive, and if you let it, it will take your life. It starts small, a skipped workout, a task you put off, a promise you make to yourself and break, and then it compounds, it becomes a habit. It becomes your identity. You tell yourself you're tired. You tell yourself you're busy. You tell yourself it's just not the right time, but the truth is, it's weakness winning, and every time weakness wins, you lose a piece of your fire. You lose a piece of your confidence. You lose a piece of the person you could have been. Weakness is not an external enemy you can outrun. It lives inside you. It speaks with your voice. It knows your fears, your insecurities, your breaking points, and it will use them against you. It will wait for you to let your guard down. It will wait for you to compromise just once, and once you give it that inch, it will take miles. It will invade every area of your life, your body, your mind, your relationships, your future. Weakness wants to convince you that giving in is harmless. That one bad choice doesn't matter, that you can make it up later, but later never comes, because weakness will make sure of that. If you do not face it now, it will face you later, and it will be stronger, hungrier, and far harder to destroy. Comfort is the breeding ground of weakness. It feels good in the moment. It feels safe. It whispers, stay here, you've earned it. But comfort, when left unchecked, becomes a trap. It stalls your growth. It slows your momentum. It steals the urgency from your dreams. When you get too comfortable, you stop pushing. You stop challenging yourself. You stop reaching for the next level. Comfort makes you believe you're fine where you are. It convinces you that progress can wait, that success will somehow find its way to you without effort. But the truth is, comfort is the slow death of potential. It lulls you into thinking you're in control, when in reality, you're drifting further away from who you could become. It feels warm and familiar, but underneath, it's eroding your edge, it's dulling your hunger, it's weakening your willpower. Every day you stay in that comfort zone, you lose a little of your drive, a little of your courage, a little of your fight. You start to avoid discomfort, you avoid challenges, you avoid risk, and before you know it, you're living a smaller version of your life. The danger is comfort feels earned. It feels like a reward, and sometimes it is, but only in short doses. Stay there too long, and it turns from a reward into a prison, because growth never happens in comfort. Strength is not built in safety. Greatness is not found in ease. You have to step into the unknown. You have to embrace the work that scares you, the struggle that tests you, the challenges that make you question if you can keep going. That's where you find out what you're made of. That's where you grow. When you resist the pull of comfort, you take back control. You stop letting weakness sneak in through the doorway of ease. You start building resilience. You start building discipline. You start becoming the kind of person who can face storms without breaking. Comfort will always be there, waiting for you to settle. It will always be ready to wrap you in excuses, to tell you that you've done enough. But the moment you choose comfort over progress, you plant the seeds of weakness, and those seeds will grow. They will take root in your habits. They will shape your decisions. They will dictate your future. The question is, will you let them? The easy way is a trap. It promises quick results. It promises less pain. It promises the shortcut to everything you want. And that's why it's so dangerous. Because what looks like a gift today becomes a chain tomorrow. Short-term relief always comes with a long-term cost. It feels good to avoid the hard work. It feels good to skip the struggle. It feels good to get what you want without the grind. But every time you take the easy way, you trade your future for comfort. You trade growth for convenience. You trade long-term strength for momentary satisfaction. And when the moment passes, what's left? Regret. The easy way leaves you unprepared. It leaves you weak when life demands you be strong. It robs you of the lessons you only learn in the struggle. The easy way avoids the fire, but the fire is where you're forged. It avoids the climb, but the climb is where you build the strength to rise. When you take the easy way, you miss the chance to become more. You miss the chance to earn your victories, and you miss the pride that only comes from knowing you fought for them. The easy way teaches you to settle. It convinces you that good enough is enough. It makes you believe that effort is optional, but deep down, you know the truth: nothing worth having comes without a price. The path of least resistance always leads downhill. It's the path to mediocrity. It's the path to wasted potential. It's the path that ends with you wondering what could have been if you had given more. The easy way feels like freedom, but it's just a slower form of surrender. Because every time you take it, you give up a little control over your future. You give up the chance to prove to yourself that you can do hard things. And one day, you'll face a challenge you can't avoid, a battle you can't walk around, and if all you've ever done is take the easy way, you won't be ready. The pain you avoided will find you. The work you skipped will haunt you. The regret will be heavier than any struggle you ran from. So remember, the easy way offers pleasure now and pain later. The hard way offers pain now and pride later. One leads to regret, the other leads to greatness. Weakness lies through self, doubt, and procrastination. It tells you that you're not ready. It tells you that you're not good enough. It tells you that you'll fail before you even start. And you believe it because weakness speaks with your own voice. It sounds reasonable. It sounds safe. It convinces you that waiting is the smart choice, that preparing more is the right choice, that tomorrow will be a better time to begin, but tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next year. And before you know it, the chance is gone. This is how weakness wins, not with force, not with power, but with whispers that make you hesitate. Self-doubt is the seed it plants. Procrastination is the soil it grows in. And every moment you delay, you water it. Every excuse you make, you strengthen it. You tell yourself you're waiting for the perfect moment. You tell yourself you're building courage. You tell yourself you're not ready yet. But the truth is, you will never feel ready. You will never have the perfect moment. You will never have absolute certainty before you act. Weakness knows this, and it uses it against you. It wraps fear in logic. It disguises avoidance as preparation. It convinces you that inaction is harmless, but inaction is poison. Every day you hesitate, the gap between where you are and where you could be grows wider. Every day you put it off, the fire inside burns a little dimmer. And one day you'll wake up and realize you're no closer than you were years ago. The only way to break free is to recognize the lie, to hear the voice of weakness and call it what it is, to reject it before it roots itself deeper. When doubt tells you to wait, you act. When procrastination says later, you move now. You fight the hesitation. You push through the fear. You take imperfect action, because imperfect action will always beat perfect inaction. Weakness will try to return. It will try to slow you again. It will try to plant the same seeds in your mind. But every time you recognize it, you take away its power. Every time you reject it, you strengthen your own. And over time, you will see that weakness was never stronger than you. It only survived because you believed its lies. You cannot negotiate with weakness. It does not care about your intentions. It does not respect your compromises. It does not play fair. Weakness exists to take from you your focus, your discipline, your drive, and if you give it even the smallest space, it will grow until it owns you. You cannot reason with it. You cannot make a deal and expect it to keep its side, because weakness doesn't want balance. It wants control. It wants to be the louder voice in your head. It wants to turn just this once into "this is who I am now." The moment you try to live alongside it, you've already lost. It will wait for your guard to drop. It will wait for your discipline to slip. It will wait for the moment when you're tired, frustrated, or distracted, and it will strike. That's why you can't give it a fraction of your space. You can't allow it to linger even in small habits, because weakness is patient. It will take years to break you if it has to. It will erode your standards one compromise at a time, one skipped commitment, one broken promise to yourself, one moment where you say, "It doesn't matter this time," but it always matters. Every small surrender becomes a foundation for a bigger one, and over time, you stop noticing how far you've fallen. You stop noticing how much power you've handed over. Weakness thrives on your blindness. It thrives when you ignore the damage it's doing. You have to be ruthless. You have to cut it out the moment you see it. You have to destroy it before it has the chance to root itself deeper. That means discipline, even when you're tired. That means action, even when you're scared. That means saying no to the easy way, every single time. Because weakness will test you daily. It will tempt you when no one is watching. It will challenge you when you feel like you've earned a break. And if you give it even a second, it will take more. The only way to win is to leave it no place to live. No space in your habits, no opening in your mindset, no moment where it feels welcome. Weakness doesn't go away on its own. It doesn't fade with time. It only dies when you kill it completely. Self-discipline is your primary weapon. It is the tool that stands between you and the life you want. It is the bridge between your goals and your reality. Without it, dreams remain dreams. Without it, intentions fade into regret. Self-discipline is not built in a single moment of motivation. It is forged in the small, quiet decisions you make every day, the choices no one sees, the sacrifices no one praises, the work you do when no one is watching. It is showing up when you don't feel like it. It is doing what needs to be done, not what feels good in the moment. It is refusing to let emotions dictate your actions. Discipline is the difference between wanting and having. It is the wall that protects you from distraction, laziness, and excuses. It is the reason some people succeed while others give up. You don't need to be the most talented. You don't need to have all the resources. If you have discipline, you can outlast those who started ahead of you. You can win simply by refusing to stop. Discipline is built daily. Every time you choose effort over ease, you strengthen it. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you sharpen it. Every time you push through resistance, you make it harder for weakness to win. It is not about perfection. It is about persistence. You will slip. You will have days when you fail. But the difference between those who stay stuck and those who rise is simple. The disciplined get back up. They don't wait for motivation to return. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They move forward because discipline has become their nature. At first, it will feel heavy. It will feel uncomfortable. It will feel like a constant fight with yourself. But over time, discipline becomes who you are. It becomes automatic. It becomes the default setting in your life. And when that happens, nothing can stop you. Because discipline doesn't care about moods. It doesn't care about weather. It doesn't care about how tired you are. It moves forward anyway. It pushes through anyway. It wins anyway. That is why self-discipline is your primary weapon. It is the blade that cuts through fear. It is the shield that protects your vision. It is the foundation that greatness stands on, and it is built not in one day, but in the decisions you make every single day. Every moment of courage is a victory. It doesn't matter how small it seems. It doesn't matter if no one notices. Every single time you act in the face of fear, you win. Because courage is not about feeling ready. It's about moving forward even when you're not. It's about stepping into the unknown with shaking hands and an uncertain heart. Courage is built in moments, tiny, powerful moments that add up over time. When you speak up instead of staying silent. When you take the first step instead of waiting for permission. When you try again after failure instead of walking away. Each of those moments is a win. They might not seem like much in the moment, but courage works like compound interest. Every small act builds on the one before it. One win gives you strength for the next. One decision to act makes the next decision easier, and before you know it, you've built momentum. Momentum changes everything. It takes you from thinking to doing. From doubting to believing, from standing still to moving forward with power, and that power grows with each small victory. You don't need to leap a mountain in a single day. You just need to take one more step than you did yesterday. You just need to prove to yourself again and again that you are capable of moving forward, even when you're scared, even when you're unsure, even when it feels impossible. The truth is, courage doesn't erase fear. It transforms it. It turns fear into fuel. It turns hesitation into action. It turns "I can't" into "I did." And the more you practice courage, the more natural it becomes. You begin to see challenges differently. You stop seeing them as threats. You start seeing them as opportunities to win again. And every win, no matter how small, cements your belief in yourself. That belief is the foundation of unstoppable momentum. Because once you start stacking wins, you don't want to stop. You want to keep pushing. You want to keep proving to yourself what you can do. And soon, the things that used to terrify you become the things you run toward. Courage grows like that. It multiplies when you use it. It strengthens every part of you. And it all starts with one choice, the choice to act when fear says don't. Your comeback starts the moment excuses end. Not tomorrow. Not when everything feels right, not when the timing is perfect. It begins the second you stop giving yourself a way out, because excuses are the chains that keep you in the same place. They sound reasonable, they sound harmless, they sound like truth, but every excuse you make is just a permission slip for weakness. It's a delay. It's a way of telling yourself you'll try later, knowing deep down that later rarely comes. You tell yourself you need more time. You tell yourself you need more resources. You tell yourself you need more confidence. But you don't. You need to move. You need to act with what you have right now. Because the perfect moment is a myth. It doesn't exist. And if you wait for it, you'll be waiting forever. The people who rise, the ones who rebuild from nothing, are not the ones who had perfect conditions. They are the ones who decided that enough was enough. They are the ones who stopped negotiating with their limitations. They are the ones who took the first step, even when the path was unclear. Your comeback isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about moving in the rain. It's about building while the wind is against you. It's about standing up even when your legs are shaking. Excuses will always be there if you want them. They will always be ready to justify why you can't start yet. Why today isn't the right day. Why you should just wait. But waiting is just another way of losing. Every day you delay is another day you stay exactly where you are. Another day you let the gap between you and your goals grow wider. And one day you'll run out of tomorrows. Your comeback doesn't need ideal timing. It doesn't need the approval of others. It doesn't even need certainty. It only needs you to stop making excuses and start taking action. Because the moment you stop saying "I can't" or "I'll try later" is the moment you start winning. It's the moment your energy shifts. It's the moment momentum starts building. It's the moment you take your life back. Your comeback is not waiting for better conditions. It's waiting for a better decision, and that decision is yours to make right now. The battle is internal, not external. Your greatest enemy is not out there in the world. It lives in your own mind. It's not the competition that holds you back. It's not the doubters. It's not the circumstances. It's the voice inside you that tells you to stop. The voice that says you're not ready. The voice that says you're not capable. The voice that whispers, "Why bother?" That voice knows exactly where your weaknesses are. It knows your fears. It knows your insecurities. It knows the memories that still haunt you. And it uses them against you. It's not an enemy you can see. It's not one you can outrun. You carry it with you everywhere you go. and every battle you fight in life starts and ends in your head. When you think you can't, you won't. When you convince yourself it's impossible, it is. When you let fear lead, you follow it into failure. The mind can be your greatest weapon, or it can be your most dangerous prison. It can drive you to climb higher than you ever imagined. Or it can chain you to the ground before you even take the first step. This is why the real fight is within. Because no matter how strong you are on the outside, if you lose in your mind, you've already lost in life. The enemy in your head is patient. It waits for you to be tired. It waits for you to be uncertain. It waits for the moment you feel alone, and then it attacks. It feeds you doubts. It feeds you fears. It feeds you reasons to quit, and if you don't fight back, it wins without ever lifting a hand. The only way to win is to recognize that this enemy is not truth. It's fear in disguise. It's insecurity dressed as logic. It's weakness speaking in your own voice. You have to learn to separate what's real from what's imagined. You have to challenge your thoughts. You have to talk back to the voice that tells you to quit. Every time you push through fear, you weaken it. Every time you take action in spite of doubt, you take back ground. Every time you win in your mind, you win in your life. Because when the mind believes, the body follows. When the mind refuses to surrender, nothing can stop you. Destroy weakness before it destroys your potential. Take decisive action now. Because weakness doesn't wait. It doesn't give you time to prepare. It doesn't knock before it enters your life. It moves quietly at first. It shows up as hesitation. It shows up as delay. It shows up as comfort that feels harmless. And while you tell yourself it's no big deal, it's growing stronger. Every moment you wait, it gains ground. Every excuse you make, it digs in deeper. Every day you delay, it takes another piece of your future. Weakness doesn't care about your intentions. It doesn't care about your dreams. It only cares about stopping you from reaching them. It will chip away at your discipline until there's nothing left. It will erode your confidence until you don't even try anymore. It will make you believe that mediocrity is all you're capable of. That is why it must be destroyed before it becomes unstoppable. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, now. Because the longer you wait, the more it will shape your habits. The more it will dictate your decisions. The more it will define who you become. And once it defines you, it's far harder to break free. Weakness is a parasite. It survives only if you feed it through inaction, through excuses, through surrender. Stop feeding it, cut it off at the root. That means doing the hard things you've been avoiding. That means facing the fears you've been running from. That means pushing yourself when you'd rather rest. It's not about destroying weakness in one dramatic moment. It's about killing it every single day, in every single decision. It's about refusing to let it breathe, refusing to let it find shelter in your habits, refusing to give it even one victory over you. The truth is, weakness can't survive in the presence of relentless action. It can't live where discipline lives. It can't grow where courage grows. It can't win when you decide that enough is enough. Your potential is too valuable to be wasted on hesitation. It's too valuable to be buried under fear. It's too valuable to be stolen by something you have the power to destroy. Every second counts. Every decision matters. Destroy weakness now, while you still control the fight, or it will destroy the person you were meant to become. So stand up now. Draw the line. Decide that from this moment forward, weakness has no place in your life. Not in your mind, not in your habits, not in your future. You are stronger than the voice that tells you to stop. You are greater than the fear that tries to hold you down. You have one life, and it will not be lived in chains. Act with urgency, move with purpose, and let every step you take be proof that you chose to fight. Destroy weakness before it destroys you, and rise into the person you were always meant to be.